YouTube, another Taurus High Point Firearms production coming at you, just like the last one. Today I'm going to be discussing what I did with this little 5mm socket with the aid of Blackie Thomas. He's a YouTuber out there. He does a lot of the Colt replica guns, the actual dragons, the walkers. But these are little black powder guns, and I'm going to run you by what I learned and what we did from him. Now, I did not do the work on this. I attempted one. I'm a little too heavy-handed for it. Of course, I think the one I tried was a 3/16. I was told that would work as well, but that one didn't work. But bring you in for a better look. Okay, hopefully this is it's a Sears Craftsman. It's a little 5mm socket. Okay, I took it out to a gentleman, and he actually cut that divot you see in it. Now what that is for? It's for the nipple rings on these things. The nipple rings, the cones, the nipples, for the cap on these Pietas, on these Colt Dragons, these walkers. The nipples that are there that you seat the cap on. Okay, I don't need this cut down by YouTube. I'm trying to explain and say as I go along, because the common terminology everybody uses for the for these little cones right here, nipples. It's nothing, you can giggle and snicker all you want, but that's not what. It's just a terminology and a word. I've even heard nipples being used to describe like water bottles that hang down. They got the little for the animals, they call, but YouTube's getting a little too Gestapo, and they're cutting out a lot of the videos, so I'm going to try to refer to them as cones from here on out. But that's what I mean, the place where you rest your cap when you fire these cap and balls. Okay. My go-to, I think I found it for $6 or $8 over at Wally World. It's a Hypertech Tough 44-piece precision screwdriver set. A little cheapo thing, but it does wonders. A little too small. Let's go to, well, there we go. That's the one I want. Now the man that cut it out, his name was Wildman Widden, Wildman Jaws. He has a YouTube station of his own where he works with helicopters and things of this nature, the RC realm. And yes, as always, prior to filming, okay, unless it's an everyday carry, I made sure that the weapon is unloaded. Okay. Now, as far as buying tools to work on these, you can. I don't know if I've got a sample here. I don't know if I happen to think to throw the sample in the bag. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But, yes I do. Great. This is a Traditions nipple wrench. Cone wrench. Sorry, YouTube. I apologize. It's a cone wrench that I bought off of eBay. I'm not going to mention the seller or anything like that because I'm sure that this is not his doing. But the first time I used it, I dropped it down in. I backed out the first cone on my cylinder, one of these cones here, and then I drove the cone back in because I wasn't going to go through it all that night. I was just making sure that the cone wrench worked. I got it through the mail, okay, but you can see plainly what has happened to the ears. After I drove it down one time, they just snapped right off. Okay, this does have one implement which is pretty good. It has that pick there. That's awesome. The cone pick. They're nice, but these wrenches here, I think I paid $11 for this one. The guy has sent me 2 more cents in each one. As soon as you tweak it down just a little bit, the ears snap off. That is why I had this one made. This one cost me $2. Went down to Ace Hardware and picked up what they had in the way of a 5mm socket. This one's a Craftsman. I stepped up a little bit instead of getting the cheap Chinese because I didn't want it to keep slipping around the nipples. You can use whatever one you want. I think the cheap Chinese is worth, I think, $1 less than this. But what I'm going to do with this one is minor. Like I said, very minor. And that's all I wanted to do was knock off the burrs. That's it. I can put this file away. This tool is completed and done. And it works. That nipple's already loosened. Of course, I only drive them in finger tight. Most people put a bear to them. You really don't need to do that. Take it down as tight as you can get it with your. You don't need to do that. You just need to take it down finger tight. I run about 3 cylinders through there, through this thing with the finger tightness of the 5mm and just my fingers. I do have, in case it's needed, due to build up and everything, a 1/4-inch drive ratchet that I carry in my tool bag that I can always use with the 1/4-inch drive cone wrench. I know everybody's used to calling it a nipple wrench. I'm used to doing that, but YouTube has been silly recently, and their overseers can't wrap their head around the 2 different or the many different cones that are out there. Going back to this again, like I said, this was a godsend. It was made. The whole thing cost me $2. We do each other's favors that way. If I'm out at the range and I'm picking up my brass and I run into some 3030 or 357, I take him to brass. He does little stuff like this for me. It took him about 2 minutes to cut that out. It's really not a major, but I mean, I've used this 3 or 4 times. Okay, 3 or 4 full cylinders. Okay, so that's, let's say 4 times, 24 times this little nipple wrench cone wrench has removed the cones in my Pieta 44 cap and ball cylinder. Okay. Every time they send me one of these, the ears break off. They say this is case hardened, or it's hardened steel. Yeah, if their steel is as hard as cardboard, I give them credit for that. But they do have one useful tool, which I'm not going to lie about, that comes with it. Okay. That nipple pick is awesome. Okay. Now, of course, if you wanted to forego the $11 here that I paid to have this thing shipped to my door, and they keep replacing it. They honor their warranty, but I think that's number 3. Number 1, it just had to be cut out. It cost me $2 at Ace Hardware. $2 and some change, but I'm not going to gripe about the change. I bought a bunch of other stuff with it that I didn't need. PB blaster, because I thought the nipples were stuck. It wasn't the nipples, because as soon as we got that cut and got that in there, them nipples turned right out. East Traditions, piece of junk. Alright, YouTube, there it is. Take it for what it's worth. Cone wrench you make costs $2. I used a Dremel tool to cut it out. Some are using mills and lathes. You know what? Knock yourselves out. It's cheap. It's easy to do, and it works on my Pieta. Versus 11 and some change to have it shipped to your door from eBay, and they keep breaking. Granted, the people on the other end do honor the warranty on these things, but what's the sense of having one if it keeps breaking? I can get a packet of pipe cleaners for a couple of bucks and replace that nipple pick. So there you have it. Both good and the bad of the cone wrench / nipple wrench. Homemade, $2, $11.94 shipped to your door. Keeps breaking. I found a couple other uses for this one, for some other guns. So it's, I mean, win-win. You got the nipple pick. I'm sorry, YouTube, cone pick. Now, that being discussed, YouTube, we move on to the next one.